Girl, I wish I would have known this a lot sooner. Let me tell you what's tea. I'm going to teach you about how to prevent ingrown hairs, hyperpigmentation, and irritation in general with hair removal. First, I want you to prep the skin. It is so important to exfoliate 2 to 3 days before you start any shaving, waxing, or any form of hair removal, including nair. It is so important to exfoliate to get the dead skin off so when we eventually do remove the hair, it's able to grow back with no problem. Now, our ingrown hairs are, our pustules slash pimples that we get on our bikini line, the little cysts and hyperpigmentation and irritation all comes from not exfoliating. You need to remove the dead skin, but I want you to use chemical exfoliation instead of a mechanical one. Our mechanical ones comes from our African net sponges or sobas or the hand gloves or this material, this nylon material. This is too rough for our sensitive area and I want you to opt out of it. Not only not, this thing collects so much bacteria. Any type of hair removal actually causes little abrasions in the skin and you can't see it, and that's why we're getting the pustules, the ingrown hairs, or the little itty bitty cysts down there, because you're filling it up with bacteria because you are not properly sanitizing or disinfecting this thing. Now, if you do decide to use this, make sure after every use, because our girl's sensitive. Whether you want to believe it or not, she's very sensitive and you need to use laundry soap with a sanitizer or with a disinfectant. So instead, you can opt for a sugar scrub. When you go home, just take some sugar, a little bit of olive oil, and you can sugar scrub that area. You can use the toner pads. I like the ones, and I'll list them right here. They have toner pads that have salicylic acid inside of it, or glycolic acids, and those are great exfoliant, and it's also something that can actually get deep down into the skin and break up those dead skin cells and bring out the gunk from all the dead hair that's not being released, that's being trapped up under the skin. Now, a part of prepping also means getting a steamy towel, soaking in hot water, or doing a warm compress over top so we can change the texture of the hair. I know you probably never heard of this, but actually using hair conditioner. Yes, the hair conditioner you put on top of your head, you actually can put that on the top of your pubis. If you want to, you could take a towel and cover up the inside where your lips fold inside of, put a towel right there. Put the hair conditioner on top to actually soften the hair, to change its curly pattern from this to make it stand straight up. Give it a little bit of a slip, if you will, if you're going to use a razor, not for waxing. This is only for razor use. And this will make hair removal much more easier. So what happens when you start to shave, it is so important that you also disinfect your shaver. Even if it is clean, you must disinfect it too. And you also must disinfect it afterwards too. Any form of hair removal is going to cause little skin abrasions that we cannot see, but they are tiny and it is prone to bacteria. So after we prep our skin, we're going to use some water to soften the hair, or we're going to use some conditioner. And then we're going to go in with our clean razor and clean hands. If you have nails especially, make sure you're getting up underneath your fingernails. Use some type of form of hydrating shaving cream. Please do not just opt for a bar soap. It's not hydrating enough and it actually will give you razor rash. And every time we do something to our body, we spill extra melanin. It is a form of protection, and our body likes to overreact form of some type of irritation, and that's where the inflammation comes in and the melanin starts to build up. So that's also why you might have it there as well too. Make sure you're opting for a razor that has 1 to 2 blades. No 3, no 4. It is so much better to 1 to 2, and shave the direction of hair growth, not the opposite. I know we want to get a closer shave, but is it really worth? Yes, I know. Who am I kidding? Yes, it's worth it. But if you are going to do that, make sure that your skin has some type of slip so when it's going over it. Do 1 pass, 2 pass. Make sure you're taking your time. Don't going back and forth. We're not brushing our teeth. You must be gentle because she's a sensitive area. You got to treat her like a sensitive girly. Now, after you get done, is so important too. This is where you want to go in with like Penasol if you're you get the cysts or you get the pustules, any type of benzoyl peroxide, HIPAA cleanse, any antibacterial soap, Dow or the new Dove line after you shave it, because we want to make sure that we're cleaning the bacteria from that area. And we're going to pat it dry, and that's when we're going to go in with some like light serums and our light oils. It is so important to make sure that you are hydrating that area. So afterward,
all right, quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take 1.
as I'm going through and editing, I was talking about the Bioma Milky Toner and a Bioma Hydrating Serum. Those are both great affordable products to moisturize and keep the kitty hydrated. And also using a water-based lotion. CeraVe has some great hydrating, just something that is non-comedogenic, like no shea butter, no Vaseline, no cocoa butter. You want something that is non-comedogenic, which means it's not going to clog your pores. The words, our skincare is just as good for our body care. So like if you have just some type of hyaluronic acid laying around, that's actually perfect because you want the skin to be hydrating. If you're not going to drink water, that's a good option. I also love the it is a milky toner. I'm trying to think of it. I'm gonna place it right here. But yeah, she's good for hydrating as well too. She has a lot of conditioners in it, and she's lightweight and she's not gonna clog it up. No Vaseline, no coconut oil, no cocoa butter, no shea butter. After, I want to say like the first 3 days of hair removal, because of those little tiny micro tears, we do not want to clog the pores up. So after you do the hair removal, after you shave, because shaving and waxing is also a form of exfoliation. After those 3 days is up, you're going to go back in and exfoliate again. And again, I'm going to list our toner pads right here and all the things you guys are going to need to make sure that your bikini line is prepped the proper way. So now that we know all about our shaving, let's get into waxing. After your wax appointment, I know that some of your waxers or esthetician may not, give you the proper aftercare steps, or some do and you don't take it. I advise you take the advice and actually follow the aftercare steps they're providing for you. But if not, no problem. That's what I'm here for. And I actually have some tips as well for you too. But if they do have aftercare products, make sure you get yourself some. It is so important to take care of your bikini line. So when we put on that eeny bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, she's clear, she's tea, she looks good, it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it is tankini season. It's time for us to, don't let me get started, excuse me. But also you want to make sure that you are using fragrance-free soaps in that area after hair removal. So before you go to your wax appointment, make sure you are exfoliating 3 days before. Make sure you have a warm compress. Some estheticians offer it, some don't. If you have a steamer, that's perfect as well too. Warm hot compress, that's fine. When they say after showering, like after waxing, avoid hot saunas, sex, gyms, loose fitted clothing, it's for a reason, because the wax actually adheres to your skin and not just the hair. So it's also creating many micro tears in the skin that you cannot see. So it's disrupting the skin barrier, and again, our melanin is going to start overreacting. It's going to be like, what's going on? I forgot to add too as well too. The one thing I love about hair removal, waxing versus shaving is shaving creates a split end on your hair. So when it curls back over and pokes back down into your skin, that's how the ingrown hairs are formed on top of the dead skin from not exfoliating. So it makes it more painful as well too. When you take a wax and when a waxer pulls out her wax strip and you can see the white bulbs on it, you're actually grabbing the hair from the root. So you're starting over with a clean slate. So after your waxer may get done, she may offer you something like oil to put on top. Two, your waxer might go in with tweezing, and that also is irritating as well too. So you want to make sure you're following the no hot areas, loose fitted clothes, no sex, because that can make things worse later on. And then I want you to get a light oil, something hydrating, and I want you to put it on top. And I just want you to keep continuously hydrating that area. If you don't shower that often and you go like maybe you shower, take a whole bath, shower, take a whole bath, you still need to be moisturizing in between. Even if you do not shower on a daily basis, you need to make sure that that skin is being moisturized. Just like we make sure that we exfoliate our legs and our arms and our butts, we need to make sure that, you know, she's getting the same type of exfoliation as well too. I say every 3 days. After that, just remember it. When you get done with your hair removal process, I want you to also make sure that you are keeping that area clean, because like I said, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but those little mini tears, go in with your antibacterial soaps and clean yourself up. If you don't like any of this, laser hair removal is a great option, but I know it's a little bit on the pricier side. But taking these extra steps will actually make you happier in the long run. We're in a season where it's constantly hot outside. We're going to the beaches, we're going to the day parties, we're outside in the sun, and we're a lot more sweaty. So making sure that we're sanitizing, cleansing that area, making sure that, you know, she's not wet and dry, that she's not super hot, just to make sure we don't get irritated is super important. On to sugaring. Sugaring is a great option for Black and brown women because the sugar actually adheres to the hair and not the skin. It only adheres to the hair and not the skin, and it actually goes in the direction of hair growth versus, you know, just waxing with soft wax or hard wax goes the opposite, and it's better prevention for the hyperpigmentation. So sugaring is a better option. It's a little bit more than you know, just hard wax and light wax that you would get from European Wax Center or whatever your esthetician may use. Sugaring is also a great option and a little bit better for Black women of color. It all hurts. Beauty is pain. We love it. Some of us got a little kink with it, but it doesn't matter because we like that bold. Okay, not all of us. Some of us like a little bit here. You know, I like you. I see you. I get the little hearts and the triangles. I'm down with that. Whatever your preference may be, we still want to be making sure that we take care of that bikini line. And we also want to make sure that we are going to go see our dermatologist, or if you can, ask your esthetician / waxer, because you might have hormonal problems and that's what's causing the hyperpigmentation down there. Or you may have fungal acne down there that you may need to be taken care of. And in that case, you do need to go see somebody if it doesn't get better. But these are some awesome options. And two, I do have my notes here with me. Hold on one second. I want you to find some soothing ingredients. Like the main soothing ingredients you're going to see is like aloe vera and colloidal oatmeal. But there is Centillica acetica, there is niacinamide, and there is also allotonin. And you can see those ingredients on the back of product labels. And again, now as far as the hyperpigmentation, there are so many good products on here. You have Remedies dark spots, you have Topicals dark spots. Those are great tyrosinols inhibitor, which means it stops the melanin production, but it also has like azelaic acid in it, niacinamide, tranexamic acid, kojic acid, alizatic acid, and those acids all stop melanin production. They push the hyperpigmentation to the surface and they slowly eat it away. And if you are going to have your bikini line out and you have dark hyperpigmentation right now, opt for a chemical peel in that area. And you also can use some type of, self tan. Black girls do the little self tanning, and you could have a glowier body, but also covering up some of that hyperpigmentation. And remember, if you are a bigger girl, make sure you are moisturizing that area in between your legs where there's friction, because that friction, any type of friction, is what causes the hyperpigmentation, and you want to make sure that you are moisturizing and hydrating that area. Again, my name is Ami, and that is how to get a pretty kitty, freeing yourself from dark marks, hyperpigmentation, irritation, ingrown hairs, cysts, papules, and pustules inside of the bikini line. Have a good day.